Well, you've experienced this rivalry in the other dugout. You've experienced it from College of Charleston. Now, from a Clemson perspective, just talk about that.
Well, it's a very exciting opportunity for me, and I know for our players and for all the fans across the state. It's the greatest rivalry in all of college baseball. So I get a chance to be a part of it again. So I'm very, very excited about the opportunity, to play in this rivalry, be a part of this rivalry, to see our guys be able to participate in it and compete in it. And just looking forward to going down and seeing the challenge that it's going to be for our team and for our program to play against a really good South Carolina club.
Does the novelty of playing in 3 different cities in 3 days maybe spice it as the best rivalry in college baseball?
Well, it's very unique from that standpoint. It's a lot of fun in that you get to cover 3 different, very different areas, but it gives the fans an opportunity to see the rivalry and see the teams in 3 different locations, 3 different venues. It's a challenge for, I think, both teams just playing in 3 different venues in 3 days. But again, it's what makes this rivalry very unique and special in that we get to play it in the way that we get to play it. I don't know of anybody else that does it this way.
You said last night this team was confident going in. Could you have envisioned a better start to the season heading into the series?
I don't think I could, and again, it's not about the wins and loss record. It's really more about how we've played, and I think our guys have played very well. Even after the first loss, I thought our guys threw the ball well, and defensively we played well. We just didn't score enough runs, and we found a way to do really all 3. Since then, we've pitched extremely well. That's been the constant. Defensively, we've been good, and we've played well offensively. So. The team's been very consistent. I've been very pleased with the demeanor of the club, the consistency of the club. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
What are some of the things you like about what you've done so far, specifically in terms of hitting, situational hitting, in terms of pitching, mixing of delivery, that kind of thing?
I think the constant in pitching has got to be you got to execute pitches, and I think our guys have done a very nice job of executing pitches based on the count, and we've been able to, once we got ahead of hitters, execute pitches and get people out. But we've pitched to contact as well. We haven't overpowered our opponent in terms of extremely high strikeout numbers. We've had to play defense behind our pitching staff, and I think that we've done a good job in both areas of pitching and defending the field. I think offensively, the biggest thing that I've been pleased with is we've stuck to our game plan, which is having really good approaches offensively at the plate, trying to make sure that when we're in hitters' counts that we're aggressive on pitches we can hit, and when we get in 2 strike counts, battling and trying to make adjustments mentally and physically with 2 strikes to put the ball in play and put pressure on the defense. We've taken our walks, which is big for our offense, and we found a way to do damage when we had runners in scoring position. So I just think overall just sticking to our offensive approaches have been very big, and our pitchers have done a nice job of executing pitches.
How did your pitching rotation set up this weekend?
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to go with Barnes in Game 1, we're going to go with Schmidt in Game 2, and then we're going to go TBA on Sunday, and we're going to see basically kind of who we use out of the bullpen on Game 1 and Game 2, and then try to make a decision after those first 2 games. We're going to, look, it's going to be all hands on deck. We're going to do everything we can to win Game 1, and that's really all we're worried about right now is Game 1. We're going to use whoever we have to use pitching-wise to do so, and we're going to do the same thing in Game 2. And once the dust clears after Game 2, then we'll make a decision as to who we will use in Game 3 for that start.
How cerebral?
Be one of those guys?
I think they're all. I think they're all viable options. We could use, and again, we're gonna use Alex Eubanks to help us win a game. Whether that's Friday night, whether that's Saturday, and but if we have not used him in either Game 1 or Game 2, there is the possibility that we could use Eubanks. We kept Schnell on a short pitch count yesterday. For that reason, to have him as an option for Game 3 if we decided to start him. But again, if we decided we needed to use Schnell on Saturday in relief to win that game, and we're going to do it. One of the lessons I learned a long time ago, just worry about today. worry about game one. We're going to do everything we can to win game one. We'll use everybody out of the bullpen that we got to use if we're in a position to win that game, to try to win game one. And we're going to do the same thing in game two. And again, because we can win game one, we can win the series in game two. We're going to use everybody we can to do so. So we're going to do everything we can to win this series, and that means all hands are on deck. We'll take care of game one, go into game two, and then once the dust settles, we'll make a decision based on who we have not used up to that point, who's the best available arm to start on game three.
Their lineup's been as good as any in college baseball the first 8 games or whatever, 9 games. You got to be pretty smart facing them, especially then they mix up lefty righties probably about as well as you'll see this year too.
Well, that's that creates a very unique challenge just for a pitching staff. If you look at the number of guys similar to us, but they may have even done it a little bit more. They mix and match left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters to create a balanced attack against you pretty good, and they can go with a defensive ball club, an offensive ball club. Obviously they got one of the hottest hitters in the country right now in Jones, who's just on a tear. I don't think anybody's been able to get him out. But you look at their numbers are really, really good offensively. You can tell that they've been very well coached offensively. Their approaches have to be very good. They have high walk totals. They don't strike out a ton, and pitching-wise, they're throwing the ball exceptionally well. They've got 3 power righties that they've started on the weekends, and that's going to create a very difficult matchup for us. We haven't seen power arms yet, so we're going to have to make some adjustments, and it's going to be a tough test for us, but our guys are excited about it. We've got a veteran group of position players, and I know they're ready for this challenge on Friday.
Monte, how excited are you to be back in the series again?
Very excited. Very excited because it's the greatest rivalry in college baseball. So it's what the state of South Carolina is all about, isn't it? Everybody in our state, you're on one side of the fence or the other. You're either a Clemson fan or a South Carolina fan, and everybody in our state can relate to this series. So it's just it feels awesome to be a part of the rivalry.
Even though you'd played USC when you were at Charleston, and you might have even played Clemson, but when you took the job, was that one of the first things that maybe you noticed or thought about as like, wow, I get to be back right in the belly of the beast again?
Oh yeah. I mean, you wouldn't be human if you didn't think about the rivalry. The rivalry is so great, and it's so important to the state of South Carolina. And I'm from the state of South Carolina, lived here my whole life, so I know how important this rivalry is to both schools and to the fan bases. And it's a huge deal, and very, very excited about the opportunity personally to be a part of it. But we're going to treat it like we do every other series. It's not like this series is any different in terms of preparation for us than any other series or any other game. We're going to treat it just like we do any other series, and we're going to do everything we can to win game one and put ourselves in a position to win the series in game two. And we're just going to play game by game baseball and do everything we can to put our team in a position to be successful.
Although their member of the Schmidt family has been their Friday guy, and it sounds like you're going to go with Slade on Saturday, but can you at least appreciate the fact that among the millions of storylines in this weekend is that kind of family rivalry playing out?
Yeah, I'd like to see that household over Thanksgiving dinner and over Christmas break. And also, I have a lot of respect for their parents, having to deal with being on both sides of the rivalry and supporting both sons. I want to know, I think I'm going to ask Dwight when I see him now, who are you pulling for in game one? And who are you going to, how are you going to do that? Is your wife going to pull for the Tigers in game one and you're going to pull for the Gamecocks, and then vice versa when Clayton pitches? Or how do you guys do that? So, no, it's really cool. It's really special, I'm sure, for his family to have a son on each team. 2 great programs, 2 great pitchers. Who could ask for anything more?
Are you anxious to see what your team does in a hostile environment?
Yes, I am. I wouldn't say anxious. I'm just excited about the opportunity. I get to sit in the dugout and watch the greatest rivalry in all of college baseball. So I'm anxious to see how my players respond to it and how they compete. you know, can we stay relaxed, and you know, can we go out there and just do what we've been doing, which has been pretty good. You know, can we execute pitches? Can we have a solid game plan at the plate? Can we make all the routine plays and run the bases effectively? And you know, when pressure does hit, can we remain calm and keep competing? You know, that's all I'm looking for. We just gotta stay loose and relax and go play baseball and enjoy the opportunity to play again in the greatest rivalry in all of college baseball.